On a frigid night in February 1959, 9 Soviet hikers embarked on what should have been the adventure of a lifetime. Their goal? To conquer the rugged peaks of the Ural Mountains and earn the prestigious Grade 3 hiking certification. But what began as a thrilling expedition soon spiraled into one of the most disturbing and unresolved cold case mysteries of the 20th century. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, named after their leader Igor Dyatlov, remains to this day an icy enigma that chills the spine of every armchair detective and seasoned mountaineer alike. The fateful expedition. The team began their trek on January 27, 1959, departing from Vizhai, the last inhabited settlement before the mountains. Comprised of university students and recent graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, these were not amateur thrill seekers. They were experienced, well-equipped, and resilient. Yet, one member, Yuri Yudin, had to withdraw the very next day due to health issues. That twist of fate saved his life and left him to carry the burden of survivor's guilt for decades. The remaining 9 pushed forward through the harsh, snow-covered wilderness, meticulously documenting their journey in diaries and photographs. These entries, later recovered, showed a group full of camaraderie and excitement, unaware of the horrors ahead. By February 1st, they had set up camp on the eastern slopes of a mountain known as Kolatsyakhl, which ironically translates to Dead Mountain in the indigenous Mansi language. Due to deteriorating weather and visibility, they pitched their tent in an exposed area instead of retreating into the forest. That decision might have sealed their fate. When the group failed to return by February 12th as planned, concern grew. Family members and the university called for a search and rescue operation. It wasn't until February 26th that searchers located the tent, collapsed, slashed open from the inside, and eerily silent. The scene was nothing short of haunting. The grisly discovery. The tent was found half buried in snow, with all belongings, including boots and coats, left behind. Investigators noted that it had been cut open from the inside, suggesting panic had set in. Tracks from multiple individuals led away from the tent, some barefoot, others wearing only socks, meandering down towards a dense forest area. In sub-zero temperatures, this behavior bordered on suicidal. 2 bodies were discovered first, lying under a tall cedar tree, shoeless and clad in only underwear. Nearby, remnants of a small fire indicated a desperate attempt to keep warm. The branches above them were broken up to 5 meters high, possibly from a frantic effort to climb the tree, either to escape something or to get a better view. 3 more bodies were found between the tree and the tent, positioned as if they were trying to return to camp. It took months to find the remaining 4. Buried under several feet of snow in a ravine, their injuries were far more severe. 1 had a crushed skull, and 2 had massive chest fractures. Medical examiners compared the trauma to being hit by a car. One woman, Lyudmila Dubinina, was missing her eyes and tongue. Her clothing, along with that of others, tested positive for radiation. Theories and speculations. With the facts in hand but no clear answers, a flood of theories emerged, each more bizarre than the last. Avalanche theory. The official Soviet explanation concluded that a slab of snow had cascaded down the slope, causing the hikers to flee in panic. Yet the physical evidence challenged this. The tent was still partially standing. There were no signs of a typical avalanche, such as a clear path of debris or external injuries consistent with snow impact. Slab Avalanche, 2021 study. In a more nuanced take, researchers at ETH Zurich recreated the conditions using sophisticated models. They proposed that a delayed slab avalanche could occur due to the hikers cutting into the snowpack to anchor their tent. This theory aligns with the nature of the injuries and the panic-driven escape, offering the most scientifically backed explanation to date. Katabatic winds. These fierce, downward winds could have descended suddenly, making it impossible to stay in the tent. The noise and force might have caused the group to flee, only to succumb to hypothermia. However, the consistency of this type of wind in the Dyatlov area is debated. Infrasound panic. According to researcher Donny Eichar, wind flowing over the mountain could have created a vortex producing infrasound. Low-frequency sounds humans can't consciously hear, but that can induce feelings of unease and panic. This could explain why rational individuals fled the safety of their tent into deadly conditions. Military testing. Some believe the hikers stumbled into a covert Soviet military test site. Parachute mines, which explode in midair and produce powerful shockwaves, could explain the internal injuries without external trauma. Supporting this theory are the presence of radioactive materials, military personnel in the area, and reports of orange glowing orbs in the sky. Paranormal and extraterrestrial theories. From UFO sightings to Yeti attacks, the stranger the idea, the more traction it got. One photo recovered from the hiker's camera even appears to show a shadowy figure in the woods. While entertaining, these theories lack any concrete evidence and are widely dismissed by the scientific community. Recent developments. In 2019, under mounting public pressure and an international resurgence of interest sparked by documentaries and investigative journalism, Russian authorities decided to reopen the Dyatlov Pass case. The new investigation was presented as an effort to finally provide closure and eliminate the more sensational conspiracy theories. In 2020, the results were announced. The cause of death, once again, was cited as an avalanche. This time, however, investigators leaned heavily on modern forensic modeling and simulation tools. They claimed that the hikers had triggered a slab avalanche due to cutting into the snowpack to pitch their tent, which caused them to evacuate under extreme duress. Despite this official stance, many experts and researchers remained skeptical. Critics point out that the terrain where the group camped was not typically prone to avalanches, and that none of the classic signs, such as a large debris field, were found. Moreover, some of the injuries suffered by the victims were more severe than what would be expected in such an event, while others lacked any trauma at all. Questions about the radiation found on the hikers' clothing and the missing tongue and eyes of one victim continue to fuel doubts. The controversy hasn't stopped enthusiasts, academics, and content creators from exploring the mystery. Internationally, the Dyatlov Pass Incident has become a staple in true crime and unsolved mystery media, from in-depth books like Dead Mountain by Donnie Eichar to analytical YouTube channels and feature-length documentaries on platforms like Netflix. The case continues to fascinate audiences. The Dyatlov Foundation, established by relatives and independent investigators, remains committed to pushing for access to classified documents and further forensic research, arguing that too many anomalies remain unexplained. Conclusion. So, what really happened on that icy slope in 1959? Was it a freak act of nature, a top-secret experiment gone wrong, or something more sinister? Despite decades of study and speculation, we may never know the full truth. The Dyatlov Pass incident endures because it taps into something primal, the fear of the unknown, the fragility of life against nature's wrath, and the eerie possibility that some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved. One thing is certain. Igor Dyatlov and his team never imagined their names would be etched into history, not for what they achieved, but for the mystery they left behind. Whether you're a skeptic, a believer, or just someone who loves a good cold case file, the Dyatlov Pass incident offers a chilling reminder that reality can sometimes be far stranger than fiction. If you found this video scintillating and eerie as we did, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most baffling mysteries.